Hey, there's a big misconception with Christians around discipleship. What does it mean to be a disciple of Jesus? Growing up in church, and I'm sure you've heard this too, we think that discipleship is following Jesus, which it is, but what are we exactly following? We think that once you're a Christian and you become a disciple, that we're following the ways of Jesus, like in the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. We study Jesus and his words and what he's doing in those passages and what he's saying in those passages. But ultimately, a lot of what Jesus is talking about in the Gospels is the journey to what we have now. It is not what we have now that Jesus is talking about, referring to in a lot of his sermons. It's about the journey that he's taking and really laying out the road to say, hey, this is exactly what you need to do, but you can't do it. So I'm going to die for you, be raised so that you can have new life. And that is where discipleship begins for the Christian. It is not the road that Jesus took to get to this place of the finished work, but discipleship for the Christian is what comes after the finished work. And so I want to just challenge you to change your mind on discipleship, that it's not a list of do's and don'ts, but rather it's a list of what Christ has finished for us. That's the list we follow. We follow this list because it's from this position as a Christian. If we hold on to the finished work of the cross and we really understand what salvation has accomplished, that we're created new, that we're righteous, blameless, holy, that we're adopted as sons and daughters, that we're seated at the right hand of the Father. Those truths, if we follow in a way of discipleship of those truths, then we start to see our lives transformed from the inside out. See, the previous discipleship model was do good, get good. And so it was a transformation of outward to inward. But Jesus changed the narrative and he said, I'm going to put my spirit in you, make you new, so that when you understand your identity and you follow me in this way, then your outward appearance will begin to change.